Pag-usapan natin yung iba't ibang klaseng mga DJ. And I'm not talking about, a mobile DJ or a club DJ or something like that. I'm talking about DJing as an occupation, as something that you do to make a living. Kasi meron mga ibang DJ na yun na yung ginagawa nila. DJ lang sila ng DJ sa gabi, all throughout the week, and that's the only thing they do. And then there are DJs like me na paminsan-minsan tumutugtog pag may mga event. Tapos meron din mga DJ na hindi tumutugtog sa labas ng bahay nila. Nasa kwarto lang, nagmi-mix and all that. And that's all perfectly well and good. So we're gonna talk about all those different types of DJs in this little vlog, okay? So let's start off dun muna sa mga professional DJ na full-time silang tumutugtog. So these are the Ace Ramoses, the Funk Avis, the Mark Marasigan. Ito yung talagang yun yung ginagawa nila full-time. Meron silang residency, that's like a super club, or sabihin natin isang bar or like a lounge or resto grill or something like that na yun yung ginagawa talaga nila. So they'll play most nights out of a week. I think that's like an amazing way to make a living. So that's the first kind of DJ, yung mga full-time. Now granted, medyo mahirap to gawin kasi sa kahit anong larangan ng arts, whether that's you're in TV, you're in the movies, or musikera ka or something like that, whenever you do your art full-time, sobrang hirap talaga nun. And syempre there are sacrifices that must be made. Bilang isang DJ, praktikang puyat, so you don't really have as much time for your friends or family pagdating sa gabi because that's when you're working. Tapos pag uwi mo, usually matutulog ka all the way until lunchtime or after lunch pa nga, minsan yun yung ginagawa dati. So there are still sacrifices, and even though you're playing music for people, for a living, you're giving people enjoyment and you letting them have fun, syempre meron mga trade-off pa rin yan. And those are the kinds of trade-offs that you would expect if you're a full-time DJ. Now, there are also other DJs na part-time lang. So tumutugtog lang sila maybe on a weekend, or they'll do, a gig twice a month, ganyan. I'm that kind of DJ kasi during the day meron akong trabaho. I work for a software company, gumagawa ako ng content para sa kanila, and that's my main thing, kumbaga. Tapos, di ba, meron pang recording studios, nagpo-produce ang mga artists. So I'm doing all of those things. Those kind of take up the bulk of my working and creative hours. Tapos on the weekend, dun ako nakakapag-DJ. Or sabihin natin, pag kinuha ko para sa isang kasal, or like a debut, or some kind of event, they hire me. It's not something that's very regular. So I tend to do that like, once a month or every other month lang. So talagang part-time lang siya para sa akin. And this is a setup that I've found to be, at least for me, the most sustainable, dahil sinubukan ko na rin dati na maging isang full-time DJ, and sobrang hirap niya guys kasi sobrang nakapagod, especially yung time yun, umiinom pa ako noon, so I was very unhealthy at the time and hindi ko masyado inalagayin sarili ko. Na-burnout ako, and that's why I kind of stopped doing the full-time DJing thing, that lasted for like, sabihin natin mga almost 2 years kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Pero yun, hindi ko siya nakayanan. I'm not built for that kind of discipline. So higing isang full-time. So naging part-time na lang ako, and that's still what I do these days. Although I would say since lumipat na ako, nandito na ako sa Singapore, some of you may have known na earlier this year, kinasal ako, and then we moved out here. So wala pa akong masyadong places na alam kung sa makatugtog dito. I've been going to a lot of DJ gigs, but I haven't really been able to do any DJing just yet. Pero I'm trying to figure out kung sino ba yung mga pwede kong kausapin if I were to play a set for their bar or for their club. So let's do it little by little. Hindi ako nagmamadali. And at the same time, I want to get a feel for anong klaseng tugtugan ba yung okay dito sa bago naming tirahan. So this is the second kind of DJ, the part-time DJ. Now, the third kind of DJ, these are the hobbyists. So sabihin natin, katulad mo, nag-download ka ng DJ software and then nag-spin ka gamit yung laptop mo o kaya gamit yung cellphone mo or tablet, and then okay ka na dun, sa bahay ka lang, papatugtog ka ng music, practice ka ng mga mix, gumagawa ka ng mga mashup, and pag nandiyan yung mga friends mo, sinasaksak mo yung laptop mo or yung device mo dun sa speakers at papatugtog ka. That's all well and good. You are a hobbyist. Another distinction is that a hobbyist na DJ, usually hindi yan binabayaran to perform at an event, sabihin natin, or to perform at a bar. Now, it doesn't mean na hindi ka pwede tumugtog sa bar. Of course, you can, pero more often than not, hindi ka makakatanggap ng bayad dahil hobbyist ka. And usually, when you get paid, that's when you take the next step up onto being a part-time DJ kasi pag binabayaran ka na to do something that tends to have like a bit of a connotation that you are in fact a professional or a semi-professional dito sa ating larangan ng pag-DJ. Okay? So usually a hobbyist DJ, hindi siya binabayaran, and most of the mixing is done at home or for friends and family or gatherings or something like that. Now, there's nothing wrong with this. This is in fact something that's totally amazing, and I feel like a lot of the people who watch people who watch the vlogs and the content that I put out, a lot of you are hobbyists, and I think that's great kasi to get into DJing, hindi mo naman kailangan maging superstar or in fact, hindi mo naman kailangan maging working DJ at all. It all starts with a passion for sharing music with other people. Di ba nga, parati ko sinasabi na yung pagdi-DJ, yes, may technical skills yan, may scratching, may beat mixing, four-deck mixing, may mashups and all of that. But at its core, DJing is all about sharing music with other people. And these are songs that you like. These are types of music that you like. Sabihin natin, ako, I like playing a lot of house. I like playing a lot of techno. Pero malapit sa puso ko talaga yung pop music. So kapag ako nagdi-DJ, papatugtog ako ng pop music. And, whether that's for 1,000 people or 10 people at a house party, it's the kind of music that I will play. But that's not to say na I won't touch the other genres that I'm also interested in. So again, it all starts from a genuine love for music, and not just the love of music, but sharing that love with other people, diba? I think later on we can make like a little video about what it means to specialize in a particular genre of music. Kasi pop music is great. Like I said, I really like pop music. Pero meron ding malaking value, pati kahalagahan sa pag-specialize sa isang subgenre or subsection of a particular music. Sabihin natin sa pop, meron akong gustong-gusto na kind of pop music, tawag sa kanya synth pop. So ito yung mga nanggaling siya from like the 80s na meron mga synthesizers and everything. So matitrace mo yung lineage ng mga makabagong synth pop ngayon. May mga OPM bands sa synth pop katulad ng Brysom, pati mga foreign acts katulad ng Churches, M83. Lahat yung may pinanggalingan from the 2010s or 2020s all the way back to the 1980s, kahit 1970s pa nga. So may mga bands, may mga new wave acts katulad ng Depeche Mode, for example, that's a key influence. Other bands, even like, some bands like The Cure, new wave bands sila, pero malaki yung na-impart nila na influence sa newer synth pop or synth wave bands. So having that kind of specialization in a particular genre, parang wala ka talagang choice but to go through the history of that particular genre. Kasi magkakaroon ka talaga ng natural curiosity para malaman kung saan ba nanggaling tong particular sound, or how do these particular artists come up with certain sounds when they make their songs. And I think it's something that is very enriching as a music listener, and also as just somebody who's genuinely curious. Parang na feed niya yung hilig ko sa pag-discover ng mga new acts, and at the same time just going back to the roots. That's always important, di ba nga, in our videos we always say that the fundamentals of DJing are the most important things that you can learn, dahil yung fundamentals na yun, you will carry them with you throughout your DJing journey, whether you've been mixing for a year, 5 years, 10 years, maybe even when you've been DJing for 20 years. Yung fundamentals na yan nandun pa rin. What are the fundamentals? Stuff like learning how to beat match by ear, stuff like knowing how to count, diba? All of these things, just they become automatic at some point. Syempre, when you're just starting out, it becomes like this very conscious thing that you do. Pero the more that you do it and the longer that you've been doing it for, the more automatic it becomes. Okay, so yeah. So speaking again on the hobbyist thing, I think it's great to take up DJing as a hobby and as pastime. Kasi if there are more people who get into DJing as hobbyists, it means na yung mga ibang DJ na, semi-professional sila, tumutugtog sa mga bar, tumutugtog sa mga club, or even the professional ones, kailangan nila iangat yung game nila. Dahil madali naman talaga magsimula mag-DJ, di ba? The real difficult thing about DJing is knowing how to play music for an audience, number one. And number two, knowing how to develop yourself as a DJ as you improve and as your career progresses. Kasi, alam mo yun, kung beat matching lang yung nagagawa mo, that's great. Pero like I said, it's very, very easy. Lalo na ngayon, di ba? Meron ng mga sync and all these other new technologies that practically do it for you. It's automatic. There are even DJ apps that do the mixing for you. So, ano mo yun, it's sometimes, and as much as I hate to say it, sometimes knowing how to mix, it's not enough anymore, especially if you want to become a professional DJ. But that's a conversation for another video entirely. So all I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with being a hobbyist if you don't have aspirations of playing in a bar, playing in a club, or playing out in public. There's a lot of enjoyment, there's a lot of value, and there's a lot of emotional and mental release and comfort that comes with just playing music for yourself. And you know, it's kind of like making a vlog like this, parang expression lang siya, kumbaga. Now those are the three types, so let's just do a quick rundown again. So first up is the professional DJ na yun ginagawa niya, full-time professional DJ. Again, yung mga Ace Ramos, Mark Marasigan, Travis Monsod, all the biggest names in clubbing right now. The second kind are the part-time DJs, katulad ko, na I'll just play once in a while kapag merong isang invitation for an event or a festival, or like there's a bar gig that I really want to play. So parang ganyan, paminsan-minsan lang. The third type is the hobbyist or the bedroom DJ. Now, before we end this video, I want to talk about a fourth kind of DJ na na-discover ko. It's something that's been gaining prominence, especially over the pandemic, and this is the streamer type of DJ. Yung mga DJ na to, hindi sila necessarily tumutugtog sa mga club, and they don't necessarily play out in front of their friends, but what they do is they regularly stream their DJ sets on services like Twitch, or meron silang Mixcloud live, tapos nagdi-DJ lang sila for an audience online. And I used to feel like, you know, nung pandemic, this was a necessity dahil, you know, we all couldn't get together, tapos syempre, we were all isolated, diba? So, yung mga ganyang bagay, para naisip ko, yeah, temporary to kasi may pandemic eh, diba? Pero nung nawala na yung pandemic, there were a lot of DJs who actually made names for themselves by streaming their DJ sets online. And even when the restrictions were lifted, they continued doing that. Marami akong nakita online, especially kahit sa Instagram, ang daming mga DJs na what they would do is, you know, they just set a camera in front of them, tugtog sila na isang DJ set, tapos isi-stream nila yan, whether YouTube, Twitch, Mixcloud Live. Tapos ang gagawin nila, and I think this is gonna be key, the thing that they will do after is kukunin nila yung recording ng buong set na yun, tapos i-chop nila lahat yan. Gagawa sila ng pieces of micro content, tapos i-upload nila yan sa TikTok, i-upload nila yan sa Instagram Reels, i-upload nila yan sa YouTube Shorts, and then they create a following based off those short form videos, diba? And it's not necessarily like playing the song in full, pero yung nagiging highlight dito are the transitions between songs. And I think that's awesome dahil, and I don't know if this is just me, pero yung feeling ko kasi nung parang mga mid-2010s or towards the latter half of that decade, parang wala na masyadong pumapansin sa mga transitions between songs. Sometimes, you know, you could just like play one song after another and that's good enough. Pero ngayon, dahil sa, you know, short form content, dahil sa TikTok, Instagram Reels and all of that, nagkakaroon ng point of focus pagdating sa transitions from one song to another. Ang daming DJs who do that very, very well. And sometimes what they'll do on Instagram or all these short form places is that they'll just do like, you know, a 60-second set na gagawa sila ng mashup using their DJ controller or whatever they have handy. Or sometimes they'll even do like a little routine, diba? Dati kasi yung mga DJ routines, mga battle routines, they used to be longer. Tapos ang gamit nila is plaka, tapos scratching and all of that. Pero ngayon, ang dami mo makita na magta-transition lang sila from one song to another, or maglalagay sila ng effect sa isang kanta, tapos magpapatong sila ng vocals gamit yung stems features ng DJ apps. So now you have like all of this attention being placed on a specific kind or a specific portion of the whole DJing experience, and that is the transition. And that's something na you might want to take a look into. I'd like to do more of that. Wala lang oras lang ngayon. And really, I'd rather make tutorials like this or long form vlogs. Pero if you want to grow a presence on TikTok as well as Instagram and Facebook, you can try making these transition videos. There's a lot of planning that needs to be done ahead of time para magawa ng isang maiksi na routine. Pero I think it's worth it kasi pag nalagay mo na yan online, it's there almost forever. Then you could just share it again and again and again. Or if somebody wants to know, ano bang klase ng music ba yung pinapatugtog mo? What's your DJing style? Well, you can just send them that video. So parang calling card na rin siya in a way, di ba? And as much as I love making mixtapes, I came from that era. Nagsimula ako mag-DJ and dati kailangan mong gumawa ng isang 60-minute na DJ set, ilalagay mo sa cassette or ibaburn mo sa CD. Tapos yun yung ipapasa mo sa mga club or sa people who would eventually book you. I come from that era. Pero the truth of the matter is, these days, parang wala na masyadong time yung mga tao to listen to a mix from front to back. And most of the time, they're even like on Spotify or YouTube Music or something, or kahit sa TikTok dun sila nagdi-discover ng mga bagong kanta. Tapos sobrang bilis lang nun, di ba? Sometimes you listen to the chorus, skip ka na. Pakinggan mo yung intro ng kanta, verse, chorus, skip ka na. So, nawawalan ng attention or time to listen to like an entire mixtape yung mga tao. And I've found this to be true for even my mixtapes, which I put up on my Mixcloud. So yung ginagawa ko actually are just mixes that you can play in the background. It's not necessarily like a showcase of the kind of DJing style that I do. Nagpapatugtog lang ako ng parang deep house, and then it's just something that is meant to be played in the background while you're working. Tawag sa kanya house from home. Mahanap yun doon sa Mixcloud ko, pati sa aking YouTube channel. So yeah, I think that would be the fourth kind of DJing, just the streamer DJs. And if you just spend a bit of time looking for them, there's so many. Tsaka recently, nagkaroon ng update yung Twitch na parang they struck a deal with like the major labels na they're gonna include more songs that are available to be streamed on the platform. So that means hindi ka na mati-take down, or mas malaki yung chance na hindi ka mati-take down as long as those are like the kinds of songs that you play. And at the same time, you can have like recordings, or I'm not sure about this, but you may have the recordings of those DJ sets saved over onto your Twitch account. So go check that out. So again, that's the fourth type, the streamer DJ. And I see this as something that would grow in the coming years dahil another thing that I saw recently is kumukonti yung number of clubs in the UK, pati in Europe, kasi parang nag-iiba yung nightlife culture after the pandemic. Parang wala na masyadong pupuntang mga clubs. Most of them just go and have parties at home and that kind of thing. So I actually feel na yung progression nitong buong DJ industry natin will head more towards, sure, we'll still have clubs, pero we'll have like an explosion of DJs who will actually not be DJing in clubs. They'll be DJing online. And itong streaming, that's just one aspect of it. The Twitch streaming DJ sets, that's just one aspect of it. Magkakaroon pa yan ng progression forward. Isipin mo, magkakaroon ng parang Apple Vision Pro na pwede ka magkaroon ng DJ set, or Oculus Quest na pwede ka magka-DJ set doon, and all of these other things. It's very early days for that sort of thing. And yes, there's nothing like being in a room full of people dancing to like the same song. Pero not everybody aspires to do that as a DJ anymore. It used to be that way, pero ngayon we're having different kinds of expectations for DJs, which is also good kasi ibig sabihin nun, we all don't have to fight for the same slice of pie. We can enlarge the pie and have like our own little slices kasi ang daming other forms of DJing that are coming into the picture, and I think that's always a good thing. Diversity is always a good thing. Having more people interested in DJing culture is also a good thing. I'm always just wary of all this new technology making things too easy. Pag naging sobrang dali kasi yung isang bagay, nawawala yung value in doing it. I mean, sabihin natin, whenever you're DJing, kung ginamit mo na yung sync the whole time, alam mo yun, personally, mas masaya pag nagma-manual beat match kayo and manual beat mixing. There's just this satisfaction that comes from it, and that's using DJ software. Mas lalo na kung plaka yung ginamit mo, tas nag-beat match ka ng dalawang kanta using records with nothing else, walang screen, walang waveforms, no anything. Pag nagawa mo siya, I don't know, it just feels really good. And sometimes yun yung intrinsic value of doing things that are more difficult because it just feels better. Maybe for the listener, there's no value for them or parang pareho lang naman. Totoo naman yun. Hindi naman marinig ng listener yung difference ng plakad sa high resolution na wave file, di ba? Especially if like it's a club sound system na hindi naman sobrang tuned for vinyl or something like that. But at the same time, you as the artist, you as a DJ, you find value in it. And I think that is reason enough to do things your own way and to do hard things, because that kind of satisfaction can only come when you're really pleased and when you're happy and you love what you're doing. So that's it for this little vlog. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. I'll see you next time.